Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Mika Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Food Yoga International. Today is our last day of fundraising for our charity of the month, and you can help me help them by donating to our fundraiser here on Twitch, visiting their website, which I posted in the chat, or simply by watching this stream and bringing your friends, because I'll be making my own donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. If you enjoyed today's stream, please support my creative work by becoming a Twitch subscriber to remove ads and get cute emotes, joining my Patreon for illustrated postcards and prints in the mail, or sending me some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. Links to all these are in my Twitch About section or in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Today is Friday, which means it's time for Chibi Friday, and I am going to finish up this Chibi Cayenne pepper, which will, among other things, become the next Twitch subscriber badge. I'm also going to make it into emotes and... No, wait, what are they called on Discord? I think they're called custom emoji on Discord. I'm going to make it into a custom emoji on Discord and put it into my pin back / magnet back button design to print and punch into physical merchandise, which I will sell at the local vegan markets here, and maybe someday I'll list them online in my shop, but that's a very low priority thing to do. So first we need to finish this drawing. It's actually really close to done, as you can see, but what we want to do next is color these lines. Everything else I'm happy with. We've got all the highlights and shading we need. I think it's going to look great. We can zoom out real small to get an idea of what it will look like at badge size for Twitch. It's kind of this. It's about this big, give or take. So it looks pretty good. I think it's recognizable as a chili pepper. Maybe if people didn't know what a cayenne pepper looked like. I didn't know what cayenne pepper looked like until I was researching for this. I have only seen it ground up in a spice jar before. I didn't know what they looked like before they get turned into a kitchen spice. So now we're just going to take the lines, so they're separate, and we're going to make them closer in color to what they're next to. The only ones we're going to leave them as stark black is the face, and that's because when it gets really small, you start losing all this data. But if we still have that strong contrast, then even when it is tiny, the face is, well, much more likely to be recognizable even at a small size. So I'm going to move my mouse and keyboard, as usual, over to my right to make room for my tablet monitor to come forward and down into my lap. And then all we have to do is choose the darkest red, and then we're going to make a really, really dark version of that. So something like that. And then we're just going to color in. We just got to make sure that the brush is big enough so we don't miss. Whoa! Okay, first we're going to lock the pixels. Okay, we lock the pixels. Okay, now we're coloring. This might be a little too dark, actually. Let's try again. That's actually a little bit too dark. I want it to be... How about we'll start with this. We'll see what this is like. Oh, man. Hold on. It's getting really warm in here already. It's summer. That's how you know it's summer. I'm going to turn my fan on. Whew. I'm sure the reason I always get... my body temperature seems to rise, or whatever is happening right at the beginning of a stream, is because suddenly I'm talking and gesticulating and stuff. When, even though I was working on my computer, I wasn't talking or feeling aware of being live in a public space. So, because that's why I'm like comfortably warm. Then I start streaming. Plus, I'm running way more programs, so my computer gets hotter, which raises the temperature in here. I also turn on more lights. Most of them are energy efficient lights, but it's still more lights, which means more energy being used, making it hotter in here. Okay, we've got the first. Yeah, that looks good. I'm glad I changed that color to be lighter. So the red now has a dark red outline rather than a black outline. So we're just going to do the same thing with all this other stuff. So we've got this cream yellow tannish kind of color. So we'll see if this is good. We'll use a smaller brush for this. Might be good. And I'm just going to be careful as I'm coloring next to the edge. Basically, I want the lines to be darker than the darkest shadow color, but lighter than black. If you're hearing that, whoopsie, if you're hearing that sort of rocking sound, that was the washing machine. My washing machine is washing some clothes. Well, washing some laundry. It's not clothes, but okay. Now let's do the green. So we'll select the darkest green there is, and then we go even darker. Actually, it might do this one. I don't know if that's dark enough. Let's do a little bit darker. The area around this dry inner part of the stem where it's been cut, I'm going to do that as this grayish color. I may as well get the green on since we got it started. Doing my best not to miss any pixels. So a lot of this stream will probably be more of the turning this into stuff, because the illustration itself is almost done. There has not yet been an announcement for a summer vegan market, but I do hope that they have one and I can apply and get selected to vend, because it would be so great for summer to have a spicy thing be one of my new items available for purchase. Alright, and I wanted to do this color up here in this middle part. I don't think that's dark enough though. Let's go a little darker, even if it's just for this part. Oh, squeaky chair. Okay. I was a little self-conscious about that, but I didn't do anything about it, so that's that. I have a squeaky chair. That looks really good! Yay! I wonder if I should darken up these ones though. I think I will, especially right here. It just doesn't seem dark enough. Like maybe... Yeah, I remember. I was doing some shading on the lines on the other one, so this is perfect. I will just go to that Pastel Palooza. Let's make it smaller. So we've got this big shadow here, so I'll just apply some darker color. Same thing here. Now let's do it with the green too. Make a darker green. And if a little bit goes off into the other color, it's fine. It's such a small area, it doesn't matter that much. Especially since most of these are going to be shrunk down way smaller than what you're seeing here. So we've got plenty of wiggle room. And maybe we'll even add some here. That's a bit much right there. Right there. So much easier to narrate my work when I am doing something simple like this. Not very much new thinking required. This is a fairly formulaic thing that I'm doing. I'm going to do the same thing with the red too. Select that red color, make it a bit darker, and add it on this side that's less lit up. Oops, make this bigger. Maybe I'll add a lighter color too. This side here, where the light's really hitting. So select this and choose a lighter color. Just use the highlights that are already existing as a guide. And we'll do a little bit lighter on tail end. And the green. Just a little bit lighter. It still needs to be an outline, so it still needs to be darker overall than the colors inside. It looks so good. Let's take a look at what it looked like compared to when we started. Ah, makes such a difference. It's a huge difference. Boom. It's way better. Yay, that means it's done. So let's put it into all these different formats. I don't need my stylus anymore, so I'm going to move my tablet back up to regular monitor position. And that means I can also bring my keyboard and mouse back in front of me, which is much more convenient. First, we'll just save the file as is. And now, So first, let's put everything into a folder. And then we're going to make a new one and merge group. That way it's a single layer. So there's lots of places I want to put this custom flare. Oh, right, okay. I gotta remember what all this stuff is. So we've got final badges. That's for Twitch. So let's start there. See, we've got all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here comes number 10. Whee! I'm just gonna drag this in here. It'll. Alright, how come it didn't work? Why is it a blank file? That's weird. Maybe I need to transform. Oh, okay. I think it's just struggling because it's so big. Okay, it's not showing anything in this preview. So it's like, what? Where is it? Why is it blank? It's just because the preview's having a hard time. So we're gonna size it super tiny. Beep, there it is. There, look how it's like hugging the pineapple. So I've got these guidelines here. We're going to make sure it's not any bigger than this. And it's a little bit taller than it is wide, so we're going to size those to the up and down ones rather than the side to side ones. And that should be good. Hit enter. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, Control Alt to select all, and we're going to center it. Then we shall copy the layer style and paste it from the pineapple. Oh, where's it? Oh, there it is. Paste layer style. And then we can turn the pineapple layer on. Right, deselect. And let's save this file as the PSD to begin with. Let's see. We don't need it giant anymore. Just needed it giant so I could make absolutely sure that I had it up against these guidelines. Next, let's double check the image size. Image size 72. And I'm going to open another Twitch tab in Firefox so that I can go in. Let's see what this. Let's see, Creator dashboard, and it's under, I think it's under monetization, subscriptions, subscriber badges. Yes, I'm so glad I remembered. Oh my gosh, I thought that this, oh wow. I guess it makes sense. This badge opened up in, here I'll try to show you. This badge opened up, the one I'm designing for opened up in November last year. Makes sense that there's already the 3.5 one is now available because now it's June. So I guess I'm gonna think of what my next favorite food is. Put that there. All of these are my favorite foods, and the idea is that when I have a whole bunch of subscribers and everybody is chatting, everybody will be at a different level and have a different food showing, and then that way it'll be like a recipe is happening. That's my idea, like a recipe is happening in the chat and it's different every time. So I wanted to look at the sizes, so we are going to need 72, 36, and 18. So let me just set this over. Set this back over here. Now we're going to save 3 different sizes. So save a copy when we want to make sure that these are selected. So that's good. Wait, well, we don't really care about layers. We want the ICZ profile to be checked. we're going to save them as ping because we want that transparent background. And this is final badges. Yes. So final badges, and we're going to rename it. 10 of these. This one is Cayenne pepper. 72 pixels. Yep. And then this is checked. Save. Save. Now we're going to image size down to 30, oh, what was it again? 32? 36. That's why I always have to check. 36. And save this one. Save copy as a ping. And now we can just go in here and select this one, change the title to 36, and save. And then finally, it was 18. Yes, 18. Image size, 18. Save file, save copy. Yeah, we're getting to super formulaic stuff here now. Not very creative here. This is just following the formula. 18. Oh, I see. It's twice as big. Because 18 becomes 36, 36 becomes 72. Oh, okay. Maybe that'll help me remember in the future. Alright, before we apply these, I'm going to get rid of these image size change because we don't want to actually save the Photoshop file with that by accident. So save this at the correct size. And now, go over here and does this get wider? Yes, it does. You can see the custom flare I made. I made all these little shining hearts for people. So we're going to manage the 3-year upload. Vegan emoji. No, we want final badges, and this was 18. 36 and 72. Boom. Upload. By uploading and saving these images, you are confirming that you own all rights to the images. Yes, indeed, I have video footage proving that this is all copyright me. Save. There. And here's what the way the flare works. Oh, it's so perfect. It's on the tier 3 flare is perfectly on the pepper. It's covering up most of the face, but it's not anywhere that the pepper is not. That's funny. I did not design it with that in mind. Okay, so that is good. Now we have up to a 3-year. I'm gonna have to plan a 3.5-year badge. I'll add that to my Chibi Friday list. I actually have several projects to do after this one, so I won't be doing that next, but I'll add something to my list. Okay, so that's good, but we're not done yet. So we're done with the final badges, but we need to do, now we're going to do the emoji for Discord, which is a slightly different size. I won't upload them to Discord on stream because I don't want to deal with opening yet another program, but I think it just has that one size. Well, let's see. This is probably sized to what it needs to be, 128. So we'll just bring this layer over here. We'll do the exact same thing we did before. So Control T to transform. Size it way down. I thought I had a whole bunch of stuff to do on this stream, but I might end a bit early if I finish with all of this. I haven't worked on my novel yet today, so I have a good excuse to end early if I finish with this. So why can't I get this to line up right? Just slightly down. Okay, that's gonna have to be close enough. And then we want something like that and something like that. Okay, Control All and center it. And Control D to deselect. Copy the layer style, paste the layer style. It gives it that nice white border so that it's easy to see whether it's on a light background or a dark background. So back to 100%. Control S to save. And save copy. And once again, we want to save as a ping to keep that transparent background. Okay, yes, it looks like it's just the one size. Excellent. So 128. We're just going to rename this to 10. Cayenne pepper. ICC profile is checked. I don't know why it's sRGB. Why is this one sRGB? And I want it to be Adobe. Hold on. Image mode. How do I change this? Color settings. I want Adobe RGB. How do I get that? Where's Adobe RGB? Oh, it's at the top. There. Adobe RGB has more colors, so it ends up looking brighter if your monitor can support it. Or if your programs can support it. I don't know if it's the monitor or the program. I think it's the program. Okay, anyway, now I can, wow, no! Let's save it, and then we'll save a copy. There we go. Adobe RGB, that's what we want. Ping. There we go. That probably means all of these are not saved in the format I want. I have to go through and resave them. We'll do this one first. Cayenne pepper. Alright, let's go through and save the rest just in case. Let's do pineapple. The other one seemed right, so I wonder why this one isn't. Save a copy. Ping. And all we need to do here is click the name and save over it. Yes. Hair. Ping. Pair. Save. Yes. And brown rice. Ping. Brown rice. Save. Yes. Save. Chia seeds. Chia seeds. I've been dealing with ICC profile problems for years now. It wasn't a problem before, but something changed on Photoshop, so you had to start selecting it yourself. And I didn't realize that, and then I saved so much stuff with settings that made it look all sad and gray. And so I finally figured out what was going on. This is the one of those things where it's still haunting me because this is an older file. That's okay. I'll just fix them. I'll just fix them all. Why does it not say have that profile checked? Okay, this is broccoli. Almost done. A few more. Butter. Peanut butter. I'm going to go in and double check these after I save them. So, copy. Chickpea is one of my favorite ones. It's only the second one I finished, but it's so cute. It ended up so cute. Alright, and tofu. Turn that one back on. And let's check this real quick. Forgot where it's under. What folder it's. Oh, I think it's in my art, visual art folder. Projects. Yeah, custom subscriber food badges. So let's take a look at these. Oh, why is it so huge? Why does it do this? Please just be normal size, not, no thank you. It was like massive. It was like, let's take up the whole space. How about, no, it's too big. Let's look at it at 100%. So this looks good. Why? Why is it doing this? I don't want you to do this. How can I change it the way it's doing it? Is there settings? Zoom into view at actual size. Of course, that sucks if it's a really huge image, but whatever. It's easier for this. I'll change it back later if it didn't do it. I changed it and it didn't do it. Okay, now it's respecting my selection. Okay, just want to check. Aw, this little face is so small because the body is so big. It has one of the tiniest faces. The broccoli is probably the same tininess of the face. Alright, so those look good. Guess we could check the... Wow, look how tiny it is. It's so small. That's what the 3 sizes for Twitch look like. Looks good. Now I just want to make sure this actual Photoshop file saves with this. Yeah, I don't know why it won't. Maybe that's why. Maybe I didn't have this selected and that's why. And even if I change it, so maybe I've changed it before, done all that saving, but then it doesn't actually save it to the Photoshop one, so that when I open it again, it still doesn't have the profile I want. Yes, please replace it and please keep that profile. Let's close it and see if I open it again. What does the color settings? Good. There it is, Adobe RGB. Okay, good. So we're done with that. Next, I want to open, and so not in here. It will be under products, button files. So I guess I'll open this one and then we'll save it with the new name. Save as 10 cayenne pepper. I don't know why I always do that. I do that all the time. I type pepper instead of pepper. I don't know why I do that. Save. Okay. So now it's saved as cayenne pepper, so we can get rid of this other stuff. Drag this over here. Plop it down in there. Oh, it's so big. Put it here. This, we can delete this one. We don't need that. And okay, we won't need this. Now transform. Wow, it's so great for a circular button. I think that's a good size, but maybe we would want it a little bit bigger. Let's err on the side bigger. And we'll turn this face line layer on so we can see that when the button is pressed, this is what's mostly going to be visible on the face. There will be some that wraps around the side that will be visible, but we want this to sit squarely in the middle of the front of the button. That looks pretty good. Oh, I just realized, why are all these extra big there? I don't understand that. So then I can't center it. What if I do this? Oh, it's still not centered though. You just don't need all this extra stuff here. Makes this 709, but it doesn't make this 709. There, now it's 709. If we do that, that's way less data. I'm going to do that with all of them. I think the reason why it's weirdly sized is because I used a template from a button making site ages and ages ago, like decades ago, and it had a guideline on there so that you could hand cut it with scissors, like a straight line so that you could cut it straight with scissors. I didn't need that, so I think that's why it's got this little bit of extra over here. But let's just trim all of these down. 709, that seemed good enough. I don't know why it's picking that, but works for me because it's centered when it does that. We do that. Save this one so we're done with it. And just do the same thing with all of them. Actually, Let that turn that on. Then do it here. Oh, that doesn't work. Damn it, and I saved that other one. Ugh, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. Hopefully the data is still there. Not, oh, what am I gonna do? Oh, not 100. No, it's cut off. No. I'm such a fool. Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh, wait. I delete that. Yeah, it's so weird. Dang it. What do I do? File recovery. Alright, this is going to be an interesting stream. So now we're going to see what I have to do. When you save after you made a mistake. Autosave. File, open recent. No, not unsave though. Restore from autosave. That's what I want. Ooh. Restore from previous version. That's what I want. Control panel, file history. Oh. That seems like it's a Windows thing. Okay, hold on. Run Photoshop, edit preference, file handle. File handling. Oh, look, I can turn this off. This is a completely different thing. Ah, I'm so happy. They made it so you could turn this off. I hated this. This was not a feature to me. This made extra work. They'd always put the word copy, and I'd have to delete it and put my own thing what I'm doing. It doesn't help me with the problem I'm having right now, which I just made a complete mistake, but... Cloud documents. Recent file list contains 20 files. Well, how do you get to the recent files set? Let me see. Restore unsaved? No, not unsaved. I saved. I made a big mistake. This is not what I was asking for. Okay, this is what I need. Okay, we're supposed to go to C, users, me, app data, roaming, Adobe, oh, Adobe Photoshop? It says Adobe. I'll just click Adobe. Ah, and then there's Adobe Photoshop. 2025. Auto recover. Oh, it only has the cayenne pepper. No. What if I open this? Oh, it's that one. Dang it. No. I don't need that one. So it didn't have what I wanted there. There's another one. Restore from previous versions on Windows. So we're gonna go to Windows settings. Control panel. Oh, where's control panel? Control panel. File history. Ah. Restore personal files. This is searching for drives. File history is off. So that doesn't work. Might just have to redo that one. I'm gonna search. File recovery, Adobe Photoshop, accidentally saved. It's not that I accidentally saved. It's that I didn't realize what was happening to the file. Restore. Well, looks like I'm screwed. But I did realize there is a way to get back some of the information. Let's undo this. All because I couldn't be satisfied with this weird, funny shape. It's just hard to center it when it's got this extra bit over here. Let me undo all this other stuff before I do any more damage. Let's see. Cayenne. Oh, we're done with this, I think. Oh, wait, look! Look! Haha! I do still have the pineapple! I have the pineapple still available because I didn't delete anything and not anything big. Oh, I'm so lucky. I am so lucky. Save as. Pineapple. I am the luckiest. All's well that ends well, everyone. Oh man, someone save this. Already exists. Yes, please save. Save this one. Oh, it's already open. Okay. I gotta close the other one. Save changes. No, I messed it up. Okay, we're gonna save as pineapple. Save. Pineapple already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes. I feel like I have to think very hard. Be careful. I'm just gonna have to. Oh, look, these ones don't have a white background. I don't know why. Let's not mess with them too much. So I'm not gonna mess with them anymore. We're gonna close these. Not do any damage by being perfectionistic about the size. We're gonna leave it that funny size. I'm so lucky. I am so lucky. What all did I do here? Oh, for some reason that was just still on. So I guess we'll save. Yeah, we'll save. Sure. First one I have a peanut butter one. Maybe I turn them all off. Okay. Yeah, let's save. Oh, I'm so lucky. That was crisis averted. That was amazing. I can't believe that. Guess I'll save this because I did save after the crop. So I'll save this one pre-crop. Yes. Oh man. Now let's save as this one again onto the cayenne pepper. So now we're back to cayenne pepper. And we can do this again. Drag this over. Delete this. Put this here. And I guess I'll delete this. I'm so lucky. I can't believe how lucky I am. That was incredible. I'm just gonna let these letters guide me. And this we're going to name, instead of pineapple, it's going to be cayenne pepper. And it looks like it might actually fit. Okay, it looks like we're going to make it a little bit smaller. Looking for the same amount of space between these letters. So like right here, it's not enough space. It seems like we need to put some more actual spaces in order to make that happen. That's about that big. Oh, it's still much bigger. So, still not too big. I'm going to put a space on this side. Nope, it does nothing. It's really hard to get this to be, make it significantly smaller. big, and that's about still not quite there. Okay, this one's about this big. All right, there we go. Using the cursor to judge the spacing, and it looks about even now. I think it might be better to make the cayenne pepper even a little bit smaller, just so that more of the letters are visible, and to take away a little bit of this big blank space here, which is just how it is because of the shape of the cayenne pepper, but I want the negative space to be more impressive than the pepper itself. So even though it's going to be smaller than some of my other chibi foods, I think this might be better. So then we can also see what the letters say. And that helps people when they're shopping at my booth to understand what exactly are they looking at. Okay, so now let's change the colors. Okay, so we've got this background, so we've got gradient overlay and pattern. So we want to change the gradient overlay, we want to change the colors. And what I found is it's best to stick to the colors that are in the food, the major colors, rather than trying to highlight a little pop of color. This is nice too because it looks hot. Looks pretty nice. Now the text doesn't have an effect on it, but it is overlay and it's got an opacity of 42%. Let's see, you can see the color. Color just white. Looks like it is. What is this color? Yeah, it's just plain old white. Gradient overlay pattern. Oh, I remember. It's the outside part that needs to change because it still didn't quite look right, and I remember now. It's this stroke that needs to change color. This just has it almost black. What if we choose this color? We don't want the text to conflict with the pepper. We want the pepper to stand out. So yeah, that's much better. This helps. The text is still made, it's rendered visible thanks to this dark outline, but the outline with this change doesn't compete so much with our main character, which is the pepper. And overall, it just has a more cohesive look as well because it's a similar color. So we'll choose that. Okay, so that's what I needed to change. I knew there was something that needed to change, but I couldn't figure it out for a minute. So it's been a while since I made the last one of these. So now we're going to change this information here. This, once it's pressed into a button, becomes text along the outside edge. So if people like their button, they can look along the edge and find out who made it, where to find more, and just information like this, which is the title, and it's so small and upside down. I'm gonna make sure I have no typos. Chibi, Cayenne, pepper. Mixed media is correct. Oh, it's copyright 2025. So that shows you it's been... I haven't made one of these this year. This is my first one this year. So Denise Mika Hutchins, StudioMikarts.com. None of this should have changed. Try to keep everything Studio Mikarts. That's way it's really easy for anyone to find me. And that looks good. Okay. Save. Ooh, it looks really good. Zooming in, then zooming back out helped refresh my eyes so I could see what it looked like. So now we want to... Oh, look, this is named wrong. We didn't change it. Cayenne pepper. Now we're going to copy this and merge group. Now it's got this single flat file. So we're going to file open. Complete buttons active. So that's the file. This is the file I go to when I want to print. So this is 8.5 by 11 in size. So when I want to print and make buttons. Oh, and it's break time. So this will be perfect. I shall make some buttons. So let's finish up the digital work. And then during break, I might take a little bit extra long break, but during break, I'll get everything set up to switch over to my physical media workstation, and we'll make these into buttons. So first we want to drag this copy over, plop it down there, and then do our best to line it up as precisely as possible. And then we're going to duplicate, and we're going to duplicate a few times until it ends up covering the whole page. So we'll just shift and drag, and then position this. Copy a single one. This is the last time we'll copy a single one. And drag, shift and drag, and then now we're going to put those all in one. Copy this. Shift and drag it down. Make this as precise as possible. Then we're going to group those together, merge those together, make another copy, and this will cover the bottom half. That looks pretty tight. We will make this all one. Whee! Ooh, they look so good. I can't wait to make these. Ah! Save this. Now we're done with this one. Save this one and close it. And we're done with this too. So let me make sure I didn't do anything weird like resize it or something. No, that looks good. Save this and close it. And I'll leave this open. Go on break. Might be a little bit longer break than usual because first I shall get my button making stuff out. Let's see, my camera still seems set up, so that's good. But then I will take my proper break after that, so we'll see how long it is. It'll be at least 5 minutes. I highly encourage everyone to take this opportunity to get stretched and refreshed as well. I'm going to put my be right back sign up, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great extended break. I was able to get pretty much everything I think out in order to make buttons and also have a nice stretching session to work off some of the sitting I've been doing. So now we're going to print this. Let's double check our print settings before we do. Yes, print on the Epson. Portrait, yes. Plain paper, bright white paper. No, we want presentation paper, matte, color. That looks good. Yeah, we want custom color correction, bi-directional, that's fine. Okay. Document size. That's, oh, not auto though, we want rear paper feed slot. Okay, this should be good. Epson matte for the printer profile, that seems good. We do want black point compensation. I don't know exactly what this does, just for differences in black points. I don't really understand that, but I know that I want it. I don't know exactly. I'm not a professional printer, I just do it as part of my profession. Okay, so that's good, but I need to get a sheet of paper out. Let's see, what paper have I been using? I think it is Staples Basic Photo Paper. Oh, right. That means I actually want to change this. I actually don't want that. I just want photo. This is this glossy? Yeah. I actually want photo glossy. And print settings will change to photo paper glossy. Because I had been using a matte paper, but the colors are just so much more vibrant if you use glossy paper. So now we've got that changed. We just want one copy. So that makes 12 buttons, so that's plenty. So you probably hear my printer waking up. And I'm getting a sheet of paper out while it does that. And I've got my rear feed slot, so it's the paper feed on the back of the printer so that it won't bend the paper. It's been a while since I printed on here. Last time was in preparation for the spring vegan market, so that was a couple months ago. So it's been in hibernation for a little while. So I can put the rest of this paper away while it finishes up. And have some tea while it finishes up. It's still doing whatever it's doing. Delicious, refreshing, ice cold herbal tea. So great on a hot summer day. Come on, printer, you can do this. The circle is just spinning. Wants me to stock up on ink, but I'm pretty sure I already did. Yellow? Yep. I have got one of each already, so we're going to say already purchased. In fact, I have 2 cyans. Oh, it's finally ready. Gosh, how long was that? It's finally ready for the paper. Here we go. While that prints, I'll switch over to my physical workstation. There we go. Move my microphone over and stuff too. Chair out of the way. So we'll adjust the lighting. Had the lighting so that it was lighting up the puppies, but now we're switching focus. Okay, that seems good. And we'll need some time for this to dry. Oh, it wants me to replace the ink cartridge. Well, that's perfect because I need to let these dry for a minute. So here, well, I guess I'll show you real quick. Here's the printed copies. I think they look pretty good. Little Cayenne chili peppers. But, oh, you can see that shine on the glossy paper. We want to let them dry for a little bit first. So I'll leave them here so that they're visible. Changing the ink cartridge is the perfect excuse to let them dry, the perfect thing to do while I let them dry. Can't show it to you though. Yellow cartridge. Although now I will need to buy a yellow. I'll show it to you. Here's my yellow XL, which means it has more ink in it than the standard cartridge. The Clarion inks are archival quality, so everything that I print is really nice, high quality. As long as it's not stored in direct sunlight, it will last a really long time. Try and get this open. There we go. Get my ink cartridge out. I'll show you what I can. There it is. Now I gotta go replace it. Can't show you that. It's too far away from the camera. Do you hear that? I had to go through like 5 screens to replace this to get it to start. Boom. Complete. So now what I do with these used ones is put this cap back on the end here. And then put it back in its little plastic wrapper. And take it to the local office supply store, which recycles these. So I have a whole box where I collect them. When it gets full, I make a trip over there, drop them off, and recycle them. Where'd the box go for that? Did I put it in the recycling already? Oh, here it is. This is just cardboard, so it's going straight into the regular recycling. Alright, I'm done with my printer, so I'm going to close it up to keep dust out. Okay. First thing we're going to do is slice this page up so that we can fit it into this button cutter. The easiest way to do that is with this little, well, if I can find it, here it is. This little mini paper slicer. Just trying to be extra careful about. I don't want to accidentally slice the circle part. So we'll just do this for all of these rows. These buttons match the color scheme of the paper slicer. Okay. So now I'm going to put this slicer away. Now we're going to use the punch. Let's see, how do I like to have this positioned? Like this. I like to use my right hand. And you just feed them through one sheet at a time. Line it up as close as you can. I'm trying not to touch the surface too much because it's still freshly printed, so I'm just try to line it up as precisely as possible and then press down. It's pretty loud, but it's really efficient. Definitely can't hand cut like with scissors a perfect circle like this. 1 of 4 complete. I look for that little white edge to tell me if it's too far one way or another. This one does not line up. Oh, I almost plunged way off center because I touched the other end of the paper. Why can't I get this one to line up? The others have been so straightforward, and this one is like, no, I'm going to float around and keep moving. I wish I had a little arrow key like on Photoshop and you can move it over by a single pixel. Oh, blast it. Okay, last row. Okay, all done. These I'm putting into my specialty recycling collection because you can't recycle glossy coated paper in the regular recycling here. Next, we're going to start punching them into, not punching, pressing them into pin back and magnet back buttons. So we're done with the punch. I'm going to put it away, make some room. And I have all of my supplies for making the buttons in this box. So we need 6 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of each type of back. The magnet backs come in separate, so we've just got this shell. Oh, wait, this is the front. Where's the back part of the magnet back? Where's the back part? Oh, okay. What? No, these are still fronts. These are fronts. Where are the backs? These are Mylar plastics. Oh, they were in here. I just couldn't see. Oh, there's hardly any left. Well, we'll make what we can. Ugh, I can't get these apart. Okay, there we go. So we need 6 of these. They come separate. You can tell that this is the back because it's got this rim here and then it's got this little dimple. I think that's why it has that dimple, so that it's really easy to understand, because it looks fairly similar to the fronts. Alright, well, I've got one taken apart. This is a stack of 3 and they don't want to... Okay, there we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll put these... Well, it doesn't really go in, so I'll put it in this one. And then the magnet backs. It feels like there's even less magnets. Oh, it's true. Well, we can only make 4. There's only 4 magnet backs. It's unfortunate. I think it's sold by weight when I order these supplies. So even though it's supposed to weigh X amount for X amount of backs, you ultimately don't get that. Or you don't get a matching amount. I think they give you what would be the minimum for sure, but I obviously have way more backs than actual magnets. So we'll just do this. I won't be able to make any more unless I sell some buttons. Hope I sell some. Put these away in here. So these Mylar fronts, you're gonna want, well, not 12 because we're not gonna be making 12. But we'll want these, so I'm gonna have them out. And then we do want 12, well, not 12, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're making 10. So 10 of these fronts. Oh, doesn't want to come apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you do want to be careful because they can get so stuck to one another, like jammed in like that, and it looks like it's just one. But if you turn it around, it's like, whoa, okay, there's actually a bunch of them. It's really obvious when you got a big stack like this, but it can happen with just, you know, 1 or 2, and then it looks like you have one, and if you try to press it like that, your button will not work. Alright, so let's put them together. First you put the back in, and you flip it around, put in the front, put in your image, and center it up toward the hole in the middle, and then put your Mylar on top. And I always like to check for any little hair or lint or fuzzies. For some reason this one is especially linty, because they're static electric too, so they really like to attract stuff. Okay, that looks a lot better. And then put that down. Then swing it back the other way. Press the front. Press the back. And there we go. Chibi Cayenne pepper button. Yay! It's so cute. is with the pin on the back. So let's do this 9 more times. Five more with the pin back. It's nice that I don't have to be sitting all day today. This is a standing activity. It's better for my body to not be sitting for too long. Oh, the pin part came out. This is a little bit dangerous. Oh, and you can see along the edge. Well, if my camera would focus. There you go. See Chibi Cayenne pepper. Well, it doesn't want to focus, but you can see that. Yeah, it's like a bunch of dust got in this bag because these are so much more dusty than usual. These little mylar covers. That's why I always check though. One more pin back. Oh, another one with it undone. There we go. Helps to look at it on a black or dark background to see those little molecules. So I try to look with this in the background. These little specks. Okay, pin back is done. Now for what magnets we can make. So first we're going to take the magnet. It's got a sticky side. And you're going to place it on the outside part so you can tell how this is curving in. That's the inside. You just center it on here. Place it down. Then put that in the side for the backs. The rest is the same as the pin back buttons were. Ja-jan! Here's the magnet version, which I think the magnets are even better, and I'm going to keep one of these for myself. I have one each of all the magnet versions for myself on my fridge. I think it's so great to have the Chibi food on your fridge. So there's that magnet. Otherwise, all the same. So 3 more of these. This one's relatively clean compared to the last everything I've been using until now. Alright, let's put the magnet on it first. Worst case scenario, if you forget to put the magnet on, you can put it on after you're done pressing it. It's not going to be a problem. But I like to put it on first because then it gets pushed on nice and firmly by the machine. Okay, so this is the last one. Because I don't have any more magnet supplies. Well, what I don't have is the actual magnet parts. I don't have any more actual magnets. So if I sell some of these at the summer market, I'll have the funds to buy more magnets. Alright, so the last 2, I'll just put in this box with my other extra printed buttons. These little papers also going to go in my specialty recycling collection. Now I'm done with this press, so I'm going to put this away, get it out of the way, because there's one more step. That is to bag these. Starting last market, I got some lovely Eco Clear bags so that, for one, with the pin backs, people aren't poking themselves. For 2, with the magnets, when they stick to each other, they leave a little residue or marks on the front. They're hardly noticeable, but I can tell. And I don't like that. I don't feel like it looks professional. Then for 3, it just looks more professional to have your items bagged. Even though I actually prefer to have less plastic. But that's just the fact of the matter, is that it looks more professional and encourages folks to make a purchase. So I've got these, they're eco bags, so they're not designed to keep these forever, because eventually they'll start degrading. That's the whole reason why they're eco bags, is that they do eventually degrade, which is good. but it would also mess up the button if you kept it in here forever. So you don't want to do that, but it looks really nice for putting in my display case to sell at markets. Yay! Yeah, my number one reason to get the bags is actually this. I don't want people to poke themselves. You saw sometimes they just come undone on their own. They can also, when I used to store them, they could get caught on each other, you know, hooked on each other, and then it's a pain. Then maybe you're getting scratches on the front from the backs and everything. So many reasons why I decided to start bagging these. I've also been considering putting these in the art shop that I sell my backstock postcards in at the moment. Been considering putting some of these buttons and maybe some of my greeting cards in there, but it takes so much work. You have to like create a spreadsheet that has a list of all the items and their value and the number of them, and yeah, it's so much work, so I haven't done it. So much extra work. Maybe once it gets closer to the holiday season, I'll be more motivated. Sometimes it's hard to get the pin in because it catches on this lip here. I like to bag them neatly because it also looks professional. I have the opening be at the top of the button, have the back at the back of the wrapper. I'm lucky we have the hefty orange bag recycling program here, so these little plastic strips get to go in there and get recycled. Well, if anybody would like to purchase any of these, you can email me at studiomikarts@gmail.com and I could list them on my Square shop for you. Two more. They're all done. Hooray! We're almost at time, so that's great. Let me put these in the recycling. Orange bag recycling. I have 3 different recycling collections in my room. Close this up. Done with these for now. Done with this for now. These back away. Put them away in my storage closet. And these eco bags go back with all the other ones for prints and everything. So now, with these last few minutes, let's put these buttons away. First, into the display case that goes out when I set up my market stall. This case has one each of pin back and magnet back, if I have them. Some of them I'm going to be retiring. It has one each if they are available. So we're going to put, and this is for display, one of each. Of course, when I bring this to the market, I will like set it up all nice, but now we have one each of that magnet and pin back in here. Put this one away, back in storage. Then the rest of the buttons go in this case, which is where I actually get the buttons from when a customer says, I would like a pineapple button with pin back. Then I go in here and get it. So fit these in here. All the other Chibi foods. And put that away. Wow! How great that all the stuff that I would do with this, at least on stream, still need to post those Discord emoji, but won't do that on stream. How great that everything took pretty much 2 hours. So, that is going to be it for today. I need my mouse so that I can end the stream. Will it work on here? No. Okay. No, there's not really anything for you to see. Oh, I know. I'll switch to this. Boom. Alright, we're a couple minutes early, but let's just call that good for today's live stream. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for everything you do to support Studio Mikarts. If you're new to my channel and want to see more, please follow Studio Mikarts on Twitch to get notified next time I go live. You can also support me by becoming a Twitch subscriber to get ad-free viewing and cute emotes, joining my Patreon for lovely illustrations in the mail, or sending some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. All the links are in my Twitch About section and in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. I'll be streaming again, not next week, but the week after, on Tuesday, going back to work on my onomatopoeia bees illustration. So I hope to see you then. But either way, let me wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching!